In this video, I'll show you how I edit a YouTube video using Descript. There's a couple key features that will make it go much faster. They're not perfect though. You can do sort of an AI edit where it'll review the transcript and cut out the stuff that should be cut out, but it doesn't get everything. So I'll show you a couple little tricks where you could find long pauses, you could find other filler words that you may need to remove that the AI edit didn't do. If you're unfamiliar with Descript, it will help you edit video and audio. So I use it for YouTube and my podcast. It creates a transcript of the audio or video. In addition, there's a whole AI section of the tool, so you can write scripts and do other things. You can also add B-roll, there's images, there's sounds, there's music, there's video for B-roll. So it's kind of a full suite. It's not perfect as far as an editor, but all the other pieces of it make it so good that even though it's not the best editor out there, it is super powerful and it's what I use. So we're going to go through it, but let's hop over right now to Descript. So I have already loaded in the file, which I recorded earlier, and we have the full transcript here already done. And you can see it's a 22-minute video, so a little long. I do remember I had to repeat myself a couple times because I messed up. And I'm going to go zoom out here to make sure we can see the whole thing. And basically, we'll go to this underlord portion here. And we have a couple things we can do. So we'll edit for clarity, and I'll click that and click submit. So it'll take a second to go through. So we could apply the edits to the script. We can copy it to a new composition or follow up or say done. What I like to do is move it to a new composition so we can keep the existing one sort of pristine. And that way you have your master copy. And then you have another composition here, which is sort of a sub composition, and we can see it's done exactly what we wanted. The other thing I'm going to do, so I got a lot of stuff, and I'm going to pop open the timeline here so it shows the waveform. Next, I'm going to look for word gaps. So this will look for silences. I think by default it's 3 seconds, but I've changed it to 2. So we'll go through these 5 different areas where I'm silent for 2 seconds or more. So we'll go to the first one and we'll take a look at it here. So it looks like I don't say anything. So yeah, I'll go ahead and shorten that to half a second. And one thing I'll do is I'm going to turn off the auto advanced and auto preview so we can see how it treats this section here. So I'll click shorten and you can see it cut out a portion of it and we have a nice clean transition here. So that's great. I'll click to go to the next one here. And we see a fairly long pause of 11 seconds. So clearly I was scrolling around to do something else. So I'll go ahead and shorten that to half a second. So we end up with a little pause, but not too much. So pretty clean. We'll go to the next one here. Again, another fairly long pause. And here's the thing. Now with Descript, I know it's super easy to take out pauses. So if I don't know what to say, or if I need to go somewhere else in my file, I was looking at a PDF in this case, I could just stop talking. I don't need to try to get it in one take. I could take this out really easy, shortens it to half a second, go to the next one. And here's a whole minute of silence here. So we can go ahead and shorten that up. And I think I was having a lot of trouble finding something. So we'll go ahead and take that out. And there, it's shortened it, which is amazing. And you end up with a much cleaner situation. So we'll go to the next one. And again, this one's actually a little bit short and it's just at the end here, I believe. Yep. So that's just the end. So I'll just shorten that. One thing I do, you can see here at the bottom, I could actually drag the fader out a little bit here. So we've cleaned up the long pauses, which is great. And we've cut out some of the repeats, which is also great. So we're done with the silences. I'll go ahead and close this. I'll click on Underlord again. So we did the edit for clarity. So remove filler words. I'll look here. Pretty clean overall. Like to filter down. So some of these are okay. And I think it indicates my style. But I don't like or So what I'll do is filter on those, but nothing else, and then see what we have. So we'll go through and take a quick look. The key thing that I'm looking for here is I want to make sure that it's a clean place to remove the audio. Now, a lot of these are removed already. We can see they're in the silent area, and that means that the AI detected this and removed it already, but I'm just going to double check to make sure there's nothing else in here. So very good. It looks like it's cleaned out almost all of them. In fact, I don't even see one. So it did everything, which is an improvement. And I'll tell you, Underlord is newer. They just rolled it out at the time when I'm recording this in June 2024. So we'll check for retakes as well. So I'll click submit. And it looks like it really didn't detect any in this case. We've checked a lot of stuff here. We're in great shape. I'm just going to click on this waveform here. So the other thing I like to do is apply studio sound. Now I'm using a pretty good mic in a pretty good room with great audio. But if I click studio sound, it'll take a bit to process and it'll clean it up just a little bit. Now, one of the flaws with the studio sound is if I'm doing an interview with someone else and their audio is lower than mine, it doesn't do a great job leveling it out, at least when I've used it in the past. So I use another tool called Auphonic if there's a case where the audio levels are off, and that's okay. Auphonic does a great job, even if it's all on one track. It's a relatively inexpensive tool and highly recommend it. If you're interested in starting a podcast or YouTube, I'll leave a link in the description so you can get sort of a quick start guide to podcasting. I thought of it because I ran a boot camp earlier this year, and Auphonic is one of the tools that I recommend, especially for people that don't have an audio background. It's extremely easy to use and it's extremely inexpensive. So studio sound takes a couple minutes to get done. The other thing I do with the audio is add some compression that usually improves the audio quite a bit and it just sounds a little bit better. So you need to make sure that you have the waveform selected here. And then I may need to go to the scene elements. If you click on layer when you have the waveform selected here, you can click audio effects, dynamics, and then compressor. I just take the defaults. This is very quick and that's it. So it improves the audio pretty well and it just makes your voice sound a little bit tighter, a little more compressed, and just a little bit better. So from here, we have essentially the edited version here. What I'd like to do next, and this is super powerful, and with all the AI advances over the last couple of years, this is really, really helpful. So I will re-listen to it. I'll go through often at a faster speed because I don't want to listen to myself talk. So I would listen to it at like 2x or 3x and make sure there's nothing weird in there. If there's a section where I rambled on and I think, hey, I could take that out, I can go ahead and see it really quickly. You, of course, can read the transcript if you want to, but it'll be pretty quick just to run through at 2x speed. It'll be under 10 minutes in this case. After I listen to it, make sure everything's good to go, I'll hop over here and take a look at the Underlord Publish section to get a YouTube description or show notes. So for me, I often will go the show notes route, but a YouTube description is totally fine. So I'll click show notes and it will basically create some show notes. You can put in these optional instructions if you want, but I'll just take it by default. It'll take a second. The cool part is it gives you a suggested title, and it also gives you the chapters right here. Great. So I could pretty much copy and paste that in. I often find this is a little bit longer than what I want, so I will shorten it. A lot of times I'll just keep the first 2 sentences and that's about it. Sometimes I may turn it into bullet points, but it's a pretty good set of show notes. So you can just click copy right here. And then whenever I publish it, I can say publish it over on YouTube. And then I could paste in my show notes right there, change some settings, log in, and it will actually render the video on the clouds. It uploads the files. It uses Descript servers, and then it uploads from Descript servers to YouTube. So I could just hop over to YouTube, and in a few minutes, it'll be uploaded and good to go. It'll already have the show notes in here. I can put in the title. And after that, I would just need to create a thumbnail, probably over in Canva, and then I'm good to go. I can just hit publish. So this is how I use Descript for editing quickly, cleaning up the audio. I also get the show notes, I get the chapters, and I then upload it to YouTube while it renders on the cloud. So very fast, and highly recommend Descript. I use it pretty much every day at this point, and they're adding more and more tools. Like one cool thing is they have eye contact, move your eyes up like you're using a teleprompter, so you can't even tell that you're reading something. It's pretty amazing. I almost forgot, if you want to check out Descript, if you're not using it already, I'm an affiliate, so there's a link in the description there. If you buy it, which I think you'll really like, there's actually a free version, but if you purchase anything, I might earn a commission because I'm an affiliate. It helps support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. If you do have any questions about using Descript, please leave a comment and I'll probably create a video about it. Thanks.